Yes, hello and welcome to Footy Talk for your Thursday. As always, as I look across the desk, is the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Heath Shaw. Heath, welcome.
Thanks, Daisy. Didn't mention I still haven't got a haircut as well.
When's this going to change? Because
Well,
you
I
honestly
think I
look
might
like you've
try and do it-
electrocuted yourself.
Yeah, I know. I'll try and do it this afternoon, but you know what? Might as well hang on to it while I've still got it.
Well, that's it. Is it starting to thin?
No, I don't know. My dad's got hair, brother doesn't.
Yeah.
So my mum's got hair still, so
There you go.
that's a positive.
There's a family update on the Shaw family's hair situation, but we do have a special guest. And today, well, look, I'm delighted the man's come in. It is from the Carlton Footy Club, Mr. Zac Williams. Zac, welcome.
No, thanks for having me. I think I'm hanging on to my hair if we're talking about hair, but mine's nice and curly. Sure, he is thinning out a bit. But
Topic of conversation. Yeah.
but no, good beanie, lads.
We want to talk to you, Zachy, because everyone's like, oh, you know, he's playing half back and he wasn't getting as much as what he used to, and now Vossi's thrown him forward. But you actually started your career as a forward up at the Giants, so you can actually play there. It's not like you're a foreigner down in the forward line. How are you enjoying the change, and what would you prefer?
No, the change has been good. It's a nice little role change. I think it allows me to play a bit more free. You know, I'm not really chasing someone around, locked into a matchup.
Not that you did that at the Giants when I was
Yeah.
playing there.
No, I
but-
was about to
I was going to say, from all the games I've watched at Carlton when you're at halfback, I didn't see that. So there's no need to lie to us.
But he was thinking about it.
That's the main thing.
No, I was going to say that you can probably speak on it as much as I can, Shory. But yeah, so I'm loving the role change at the minute. The forward line boys have really looked for me in that forward 50 over the last few weeks, which is nice. So and getting on the scoreboard too, which is always nice in front of a nice big crowd at MCG. So yeah, no, I'm really enjoying it so far.
It's a decent enough forward line too, obviously. Harry and Charlie, there's a fair bit of ball in their direction. So as a small forward, you've got some idea as to where it's going to go.
Yeah, no, I'm walking around like a lost puppy. I'm just following Charlie and Harry around the ground at the minute. So I sort of just mop up after. If they don't mark it, I'm mopping up, and if they do mark it, I'm just sprinting forward like there's no tomorrow. So
Vossi does look like a genius because 14 goals in the last 7 games. If he had played
That's
the whole
averaging 2 a
season-
game.
Yeah. Good maths. If he played the whole year down there, then what's that?
24 games, 48 goals.
There you go. That's not a bad
You
return for
nearly-
a small forward.
That's a great return for a small forward. We
Genius, Vossi.
we saw a couple of weeks ago you ticked over game 150.
Yep.
It's been a long road, and we sort of heard the words that you said post-game's got a bit emotional, but it's a story of great perseverance, and I guess through adversity as well. There's obviously some tough times through that.
Yep. Yeah, it's been 12 years now. It's taken me to get to 150. I don't know what it took you, Shory. You got to 300 and something games, but
325.
The first 150 would have taken a hot minute because
Yeah,
you're
I was-
playing twos for a fair bit of it.
Nothing wrong playing twos. Mate. Never played twos with the Giants, but refused to sign the form.
in the Neefle back then it was called, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Neefle. So,
not laddie.
but yeah, look, it's been a long journey, but yeah, especially the last 18 months has been pretty tough. With footy injury wise, hasn't been ideal, but also on the family front, with my sister passing away from cancer as well. So yeah, it's been a long 18 months. You know, the last 12 months with her not being here with footy, me back playing footy, and her not being here has been tough as well. You know, Shory probably at the Giants, you've just seen how much my family was up in Sydney, up at all the games. So yeah, they played a big part in my journey. But also, you know, I got her kids down and her husband down for my 150th, which was awesome, and got them involved and got mum down. Mum hates big crowds, which is funny because I'm at Carlton now, so we're playing in
That's
front
why
of.
she loved the Giants.
Yeah, but yeah, we're playing in front of 80,000, and mum sort of hates big crowds, but I think she's getting used to it now. So it was a really good night for me 150th. Got the win as well, and yeah, like I said, it took a while to get there, but yeah, I got there, which is nice.
It must be nice knowing that, and you were sort of early in your footballing days into the Carlton Footy Club when some of this stuff happened. It must be nice knowing that club, and especially the boys, had your back through one of the tougher times.
No, 100%. Even, it's been a tough 4 years really at Carlton with injuries, and then sort of, I did have a chat with Shory about sort of expectations and, what the Melbourne sort of footy scene's like, and it was pretty ruthless early days.
Yeah, absolutely.
And at that time, I didn't open up to many people in terms of what was going on in my sort of family life. No one sort of knew what was going on. So I tried to keep that really separate, and I was almost copping it on both fronts almost, in the media, and then obviously wasn't playing football the way I wanted to, and I was getting injured. So, it's been a tough 4 years. But yeah, I guess just in footy sense, I'm really grateful for the position I'm in now. I'm back playing footy. I think I've only missed one game this year, and that was almost because they were managing me. Really, wasn't because of injury or anything like that. So, my gratitude towards footy has gone to a whole nother level, and I got my little family here today as well, and they've played a big part in sort of getting me back from injury and getting me through these. Ayla, yeah. So, and get me through the tough times as well. So, being able to shut off from football when I'm at the club and 8 games, I'm all footy and I'm a big footy head. But then when I'm at home, I can switch off and just have family time, which is nice.
You had some really close mates at the Giants, and those guys have left as well. But who was you talked about those tough times at Carlton, going to a new club, and who were the guys that you lent on a lot throughout those sort of the injury and the media attention and the form and all that sort of stuff? Who were the guys that you sort of lent on the most at Carlton?
Probably the leaders at the club, like your Crippers, Weederings, those boys, they got drafted there. They've been through, I think you played with a few of them 2 days out Carlton. So when you guys were going through a tough time as well.
Helped them win some wooden spoons.
Calm down. There's still decorations for the tree.
So, those boys that have been there and been through sort of all the media scrutiny, really in the footy sense, really helped and really sat down with me and had chats about, expectations and what's my expectations and what's real and what's not real, in terms of what people are saying, to be honest. So, I'd probably say the leaders of the football club. And then when Vossy came to the football club, probably took me probably half a year to sort of, I guess, build trust with him and then speak to him about family stuff. And then, once I opened up to him, he sort of wrapped his arms around me and really just, when I needed to go home for a weekend or whatever it was, he really just, do what you need to do, and then there's no expectations on when you need to come back sort of thing. So, Vossy's been a really big shoulder to lean on, I guess, over the past 18 months, which has been huge. So my relationship with a lot of these types of people over the last, short period of time has really grown.
It as big as you thought it was going to be, the Melbourne, or were you prepared for it? How much media attention comes with going to a massive club like the Blues? Because there was a while there, and I've been through it as well, where you sort of sit back and you go, holy Christ.
There was a few that went back before Zachy from the Giants, and they sort of the same sort of scenario.
But just bang, bang, bang. Like once the media in Melbourne are off you, it just comes from all angles.
Yeah. And it feels like it doesn't stop either for a certain period of time, whether that's a few months or whatever. But I guess I didn't expect it to be, wouldn't say as bad, because, it is what it is. There's always going to be media, whether it's good or bad, talking about you. So for me, I came to Melbourne for totally different reasons, to be closer to my family. If you talk about sort of years and contracts, I was getting offered pretty much the similar stuff from the Giants as well. So take that aside. I moved down here to be close to my family with obviously my sister's health stuff that was going on. So my mind wasn't really thinking about the media side of things and how much of a fishbowl it is down here. So when I showed up, it was a shock. But then, like I said, I had chats with Shawry about it as well at the Giants, and he sort of informed me that it's pretty ruthless down here. But
can be, especially Carlton supporters.
So my mind just went to I didn't really expect it, but I was sort of not waiting for it, but when's it going to pop up? You sort of have that, when's it going to pop up, when's someone going to say something about me, but it's all water under the bridge, to be honest. Now I've got other things to worry about, so yeah.
And you got a big, obviously Carlton are flying and going pretty well. A little bit of
low level flying,
a little bit of a hiccup last
Liddy's
week.
off. Lid was back on for a little minute.
Yeah, well, for the first quarter last week, Zachy kicked 3, and I'm like, he's going to kick 10 tonight. This is not good. I'm sitting next to the Giants CEO saying, "Oh, this is not looking good, mate." And he used to play for you. I was like, "Oh, this is not good." But the Blues, one of many, very few teams that have been fairly consistent this year. We've seen the Swans. Obviously, they were like 3 or 4 games clear, and then Carlton have been pretty consistent, sitting second on the ladder. What's the feeling like around the club and the excitement for you personally, after having so long out, coming towards the pointy end of the year when you get to play in finals?
Yeah, no, the buzz around the club is awesome. Like, you two have played for big clubs and obviously played in the grand final and won it, so you guys know sort of what it feels like to the vibe around the fans and the club when you're up and about. So yeah, it's good fun at the moment. Obviously a little, like you said, a little hiccup on the weekend, but I think there's a lot of boys that, like we touched on before, Daisy, that you've played with. There's a lot of boys that haven't had success playing a long time at Carlton. So I know it's cliche and you say week to week, but I think the boys are just enjoying being at the club, being around a good vibe, winning games, and being spoken about as a contender and, as a top 4 team. And I think the boys are just like, even I know I've got really big gratitude towards footy now, but I think a lot of the boys for their footy as well. They're just loving it at the moment, and you can really. I think you can see it when we're playing as well. The excitement on the ground when we're playing.
And school holidays, all the Carlton supporters will be down there watching training as well.
Regardless, I reckon 3/4 of them don't work.
Hey, don't be knocking our fans. Come on now.
That was in a nice way because they just show up regardless.
Yeah. Well, we had an open training session yesterday, and it was 0 degrees and raining, and I think there was like 500 people or something. Now I don't know the number, but there was heaps of people there.
They
show out. They show out.
You can tell though, and it is cliche that you're going 1 week at a time, but that's probably the reason why they haven't had the inconsistencies of some sides, because the competition's so even at the minute. If you do sort of take your eye off the ball, you get found out pretty quickly. And the Giants are probably testament to that for how well. Same with the Cats, how well they started, and then that lull through the middle period. So it is going to be a massive back end of the season. It starts this Saturday Arvo at Marvel against the Dogs, who
dangerous.
They're dangerous.
They're up and about at the moment, aren't they?
Like, good luck trying to scout them.
Exactly.
If you're doing
they're
the
dangerously
opposition,
inconsistent.
Yeah. Going after Rory Lobb this weekend, I am.
Yeah.
Ex-teammate.
Hey, there's a chance he'll be up your end too now that he's become a defender.
Yeah, he's clunking him big lobby, isn't he? I never thought I'd see him playing in the back line, if I'm being totally honest. But he's doing a good job the last couple of weeks.
Did you just swear?
Lobby's just.
Did you just drop an F-bomb?
No, but he's so entertaining because he's in the paper every single week.
Yeah.
He's getting traded to this club. He's playing forward, back, reserves, ruck. He doesn't I don't even know he knows what he's doing. But
have you got some material ready for him?
Oh mate, there was plenty of material.
Yeah,
the Giants,
plenty.
Lobby. He went off on a stretcher at training once, right? No word of a lie, and came back on 10 minutes later. Went off on a stretcher at training. No word of a lie.
How?
Oh, you're telling me, mate. That's what
you're telling me.
Well, we don't know. We were sitting there. It was like we thought he was going to hospital, and he ran back on and finished off the session. So
Shane Mumford, I don't think let him forget about that.
Mate, he was, as I said, mate. Lobby he's one of the more entertaining people in the AFL at the moment because he's in the paper every single day,
and he's just on TikTok, genuinely taking the piss out of himself.
I like it. He's living a good life.
It's incredible, but it becomes a big game. Obviously, the back end of the season and wanting to obviously put yourselves in a really nice position. It's a game that
and Bulldogs need a win.
Bulldogs need a win, but this is almost season on the line for them with the run and the draw they've got coming up against some hard opposition. So every week's important, but to narrow the focus again to this week, it's probably you'll get 40,000 there at the under the lid as well.
Oh yeah. No, it's exciting. It's they're wanting to make the 8, and we're wanting to put a stamp on sort of that top 4. So I guess every game from here on out is pretty important. But like I said, I don't think anyone at Carlton have looked too far ahead just because we're sort of trying to enjoy the moment at the moment. If you blink, you sort of you miss it. You know what I mean? All these little moments when you're winning and enjoying it at the club. So
we did ban token lines for players. But if you're at Carlton, you sort of have to.
We'll allow it.
Yeah, because there was a couple of guys who said no, don't give us that.
Yeah, we want honest answers. Yeah, or if that is the answer, we want to make up one.
Make it up. Right. But that's probably as honest as possible for a Carlton supporter they've been starved of success for so long.
Was the review pretty brutal on the GWS game? Because from the numbers, and I went through them. You lost contested possession. They smacked you with uncontested possession. They had more marks inside 50. They had more disposals. They had more inside 50s. But the stark one, I thought, was 26 tackles inside 50 for the Giants and only 4 for the Blues.
Yeah, we touched on that.
Any chance you can tackle someone?
Yeah, I know, yeah. So that's probably...
worrying about the goals, I think.
We
Nuggies.
Yeah, so we did touch on that as a forward line group in our line meeting, and that's just not up to standard for us. I think over the past few weeks we've I think a couple of weeks ago, maybe against the Cats, I think we had 15 inside 50 tackles or something like that. So, we pride ourselves on those inside 50 tackles and keeping the pressure on their back. So, we let ourselves down as forwards in that area. But, it was brutal, but I think Vossi's got a good understanding of being brutal, but then putting his arm around you and sort of moving on to next week. So
29's outrageous as well.
Tackles.
By the Giants.
26.
That's outrageous.
Yeah.
Like
It's
that's
a lot of
over and above.
It is a big
And
number.
if the ball's not coming in that well, then there's no real chance you get to tackle anyone.
they got some fast players in their
yeah.
forward line too, Giants, don't they?
All right, stick around. We got plenty more to come on the Footy Talk podcast. We'll go full preview mode into the big game tomorrow night between the Pies and Geelong as we celebrate a premiership as well on that night. Plus, we'll get your recommendations of the week as well, because we are not just a Footy Talk podcast, we are pop culture as well. Coming up next. Welcome back to the Footy Talk podcast for your Thursday. If you're listening on Spotify and you're enjoying it, want to hear more, hit the bell so you can be notified when we drop a new episode, or check us out on Instagram at footytalk_pod. Heater, recommendation time. Have you got one for me?
I do. I just thought of it just then.
Good. That's a great time to think of it.
You know what? It is. It's cactus water. Flavoured cactus water. I was at this cafe the other day and I saw this can. No word of a lie. Saw this can. It was a really funky looking can, so I grabbed it and it just had cactus water. I said to the lady, "What's this?" She said, "It's cactus water, flavoured." I said, "Okay, where do I get them from?" She gave me the Instagram. It's Better Days Cactus Water. Messaged them and got a couple of slabs. So jump on the cactus water. It's the next big thing.
Isn't that
So
just the same as aloe vera water? Is it this week?
Yeah.
Is that cactus? That's
Yeah,
the
it
same
is.
thing.
Yeah,
So
but it's water.
copyright.
Hang on. So you liked it?
Yeah.
So instead of going to buy it,
No, I bought it.
oh, you bought it.
One.
You bought one,
Yeah,
and
and
then
then-
reached out and said, "Send me some slabs."
Yeah, but I bought those ones as well.
Oh, you paid for them?
Yeah, I actually
Oh,
paid
that's
for
right.
them. Yeah.
That's right. Well done.
Mate, looking after small business.
Yeah, good on you.
Yeah,
You're
so
the
cactus water, Better Days, cactus water.
You are the
Flavoured.
backbone of the economy. We've always said that. Anything that you're viewing, watching, books, Netflix?
Yeah.
Blues Clues.
Yeah.
Just figured out Blues Clues.
Well, with a 2-year-old, there's you don't get much choice outside of Bluey,
mate.
Paw Patrol at the moment. It's a big one. There's a bloke called Blippy on YouTube Kids, and he's
the
doing
man.
my head in at the moment. I can't stand him at the moment, Blippy. He's got the most annoying voice at the moment to me.
Shout out to Blippy, who's a big listener of the podcast as well.
Yeah. But Netflix, I'm watching House of Cards at the moment.
Okay.
Right into the politics. I got no idea what they're talking about, but it just has me on the edge of my seat at the moment.
If you want to be into politics, just look at the American politics at the moment.
my
That's
goodness.
entertaining.
Oh,
as shit.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I need more debates to get Donald Trump in more
Yeah,
debates.
get
It's funny.
Sleepy Joe out there. Sensational. What was that? I didn't hear what he said.
Very good. My recommendation this week is broad brush, Pilates in general. That stuff is phenomenal. You done Pilates much?
Yeah, at the club. Yeah, on the reformer.
It is
Yeah.
so hard.
It is. Yeah, it
It
burns.
like-
That's why I chose not to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I go along.
I don't think I've ever seen you do yoga or Pilates or
I
stretch.
went along
even,
with
either.
Natasha, and I was sweating before the class started because I had to sit on my bed with my legs crossed. My hips go like
Yeah,
this.
it's not good, is it?
Mate, I was cooked.
Not
and they're
built
just
for
doing
that.
it easy. Anyway, there's a little recommendation. So
Beautiful.
we've got Cactus Water, House of Cards, and go and try yourself some Pilates. Big game tomorrow night. The Pies taking on the Cats. Look, the Pies struggling at the minute, Heath.
Well, we're talking about must-win games, and they're just outside.
Back-to-back losses. Yeah, sitting ninth. The Cats
And-
somehow ticking along in fifth after back-to-back wins. So
Yeah,
different
and-
form lines.
Just so many injuries. And you can't use injuries as excuse, but Colin
Nah,
can.
there's reasons. There's excuses and
Yeah.
reasons.
So I think they're just struggling with. They get someone back. They get a couple back. I think they might get Jamie Elliott and that back this week. But then Mychek goes out, who's been a linchpin like the whole year. It's probably frustrating for Fly. I reckon he's probably getting to that point now where he's a bit over it, all these injuries. But it's a huge game, and you never know. Backs against the wall, they usually come up and stand up, and obviously we're going to be there, so they would want to put on a show.
Or we go down after the game. We let them know exactly our thoughts.
I reckon we do it before.
Oh, yeah. Ref up.
Yeah,
Pre-match.
why not?
I'll run that past Fly. You played against both the sides. What have you made of the Cats? Did you get them earlier in the year when they were
so
flying?
we've played the Cats twice now.
Yeah.
So we played them. They beat us
the first
round
time.
5,
Yeah,
I think it
in
was,
that big
something, and
shootout.
then,
Yeah.
And then we played them a couple of weeks ago. But yeah, I think both of them are quality outfit. I think Collingwood, when they're on, they they can beat any side. They're that quick when they got their ball moving up and running, and like you said, the injuries hinder them a little bit at the moment. But I still think they're pretty dangerous with the way they can move the footy, and Geelong just, their season, they structure up like no other team in the comp, and you talk about role players. They have so many players in their team that just nail their role when they need to, and then they got players like down in the forward line, Stengel and Jezza, who can turn it on whenever they want to turn it on, really. So, yeah, they're both pretty dangerous, to be honest.
He's a pretty good player, Jezza.
Jezza's a gun.
Yeah, he's good to watch.
It's such a good word, though, seasoned, because they are. It feels like every time you come up against a Geelong outfit, they're hard, they're fit.
That just means they're old.
They're professional.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a very nice way of saying Geelong are old.
Who would you prefer not to make the 8 out of those two teams?
Oh, God. Put me on the spot here, haven't you?
Well, if you have to play one of them in a prelim,
I'll tell you what, it'd be good. Carlton.
Yeah, Carlton. You can't go past it. I guess if you're talking about theatrics and
you get it in
getting a
weeks
crowd
well.
and probably in a prelim, it's probably in terms of just the lead up to a game. I think would be.
I don't think your mum would want to go to that prelim.
No,
Carlton versus Collingwood.
She
doesn't like crowds. Don't go to that game. Even if it's a grand final, I'll tell you what, she might have to watch it at home on TV.
It'd be So just probably for the theatrics and the lead up to it, and just to play Bobby as well in a prelim would be fun, I reckon. So
Bobby, and you would have played on him in match sim and whatnot. Is he the hardest bloke to play on? He's lateral.
No, he was easy.
Nah, but me and Head used to send Reid to him.
Yeah.
Me and Head used to do
He was
whatever.
easy. He was easy to play on.
Yeah.
You sent someone else.
Yeah, of course. It's too quick, mate.
Right,
We don't like quick
No, but
forwards.
that's what I mean. Like,
They're dangerous.
his lateral movement, his speed, and just all of a sudden, bling.
But
Yeah.
he can look disinterested and then next minute
Take
bang.
off and
Yeah.
So that's what, you give that to
He
someone
needs
else.
to
Lock
get
the
going.
I think
though.
people forget too. He's obviously really fast in that, but he's been putting people on posters as well.
Yeah.
He can take a grab whenever he wants to when he jumps, and sometimes I think because he's a small forward, you forget that he can actually take a screamer as well. So
He's dangerous, mate.
Did,
He's dangerous.
were there any text exchange last year on grand final day when he won the norm?
No, actually, I didn't hear from him. Obviously, I think he was just way too busy through the week. I didn't even get to see him after a week. But he still lets me know that he won the Norm Smith when I see him now. So I got nothing. I'm like, yeah, mate. All right, you can have it. You win
Come
that
back
one.
to me in 2.5 months, brother. Heater, prediction and a margin?
I'm going to go get Collingwood against the trend.
Yeah, I'm with you. Collingwood
Just
by
backs against the wall.
a point. And Bobby to kick the winner.
Bobby,
There you go.
There you
Bobby
go.
kick 4.
There's a real bit of excitement for you. And I know you were tipping Carlton against the Western Bulldogs. How do you see that one playing out?
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, no, I reckon the Bulldogs are a chance.
They're going all right. No, I think Carlton will bounce back and, like Zac said, they start off like a house on fire. If you can string that
They
together.
finish like one burnt to the ground.
So, good one. But yeah, I think they'll bounce back.
I think they will as well. Carlton by how far for me? Hey, all the best. Thanks so much for coming in, having
Thank
a nice,
you.
honest, open chat, and we wish you all the best for the rest of the season.
Thanks for having me, guys. Appreciate it.
You're a star, Heater. You need a haircut, but thank to you as always.
Thanks, mate.
Yep, thanks to you, not thank to you.
Well, thank you.
This has been the Footy Talk podcast. Massive weekend of footy. We'll be back on Monday to wrap it all up. Not us, but somebody else will. That's been the Footy Talk podcast.